What's up, people? Indy's here, and I want to talk to you about something amazing called the Indie Initiative. The Indie Initiative is a variety channel on Twitch that is live almost 24/7. Just go to twitch.tv/The Indie Initiative and check it out. We made this channel as a way to help streamers come together, form communities, gain followers, and build up their own channel. We have all kinds of stream on that channel. We have indie gamers, we've got AAA gamers, we've got people that make art, and they all bring something different for you to get that perfect Twitch experience. With new streamers joining every month, you will always discover somebody that you didn't know about. We have some great things coming up in the near future that you don't want to miss. I really want you to come to the channel at twitch.tv/The Indie Initiative and check it out. You might even want to apply and join these amazing streamers yourself. So come on and check it out. This is Indy, and I will talk to you later. Peace.
All right, everybody, and welcome back. Hope you can hear me fine. We're testing out the new mic. You guys can see it just down here. We're back to the old mic, but I don't know if I have the settings correct. We're going to put some background music on, guys. Just a little soft music for you guys to listen to while I'm talking here. I hope you guys can hear that okay. It's just quiet music. So today on the Help Desk, we have a lot to talk about. We've got gaming YouTube review, we've got Twitch updates, we've got games that are coming out this week, we've got a channel review, and then we got closing remarks. Now, I didn't put very much in the content because I have a feeling that the content that we have is gonna take forever. I'm hoping we get some people in the team speak so that we have plenty of people to talk over the various things that are happening here. Right now, we do have Sprocket. Why don't we go ahead and say hello to Sprocket? Sprocket, are you there? Currently, Sprocket is away. She's probably still feeding Little Goblin. That's perfectly fine. Why don't we go ahead and get started here, guys? Actually, before we get started, I want to quickly talk about something that is starting. PAX. So, we might see some lower numbers because PAX is on right now. A lot of the major streamers are out there. They all would have left today. I do believe it starts tomorrow. It's either today or tomorrow that it starts. A 3-day trip out to Seattle. Sorry, it's not a trip out to Seattle, but it's a 3-day stay out in Seattle, and it's a ton of fun, guys. I'm not going to PAX, but I will be going to TwitchCon, guys. Same idea, and I honestly believe you guys should come check out one of these. There's nothing like it, and if you haven't been there, they're great for networking. All right, guys, why don't we go ahead and just get started? We're not at PAX. We'll just go ahead and get started here, guys. Whoa, Sprocket! How's it going?
I am here for a couple of minutes. I just got done feeding Goblin before I put him down for nap, so it'll be about another 10 minutes until I can actually fully be a part of the Help Desk today. Yeah. I am listening while I'm gone. But I just figured I'd say hi to everybody, let you all know that we are actually here. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Time to have some fun.
And of course, if anybody else wants to join us, feel free to come into the team speak. If you know the info, you are part of the TII system. Feel free to come join us and have some fun. All right, guys, so we've got a lot to talk about. I have over like 2 pages of information just relating to YouTube gaming. The first thing I'm going to tell you is it's not good news. I went over a lot of information, and it's definitely not good news. It's a lot of bad news. Like I said, if you know how to get in here, come join us. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about here today, guys, is we're actually going to talk about the front end of YouTube gaming. So the first thing that you should know is that according to a company that kind of gives out information, give me one moment. According to a company that gives out information on various websites, called ARS Technica, the website will work in all countries where YouTube is available. Although YouTube gaming is to remain English only for the time being. Wow. So they don't allow non-English streaming on YouTube gaming at this time. The The other thing that you should know is that the Android and iOS apps are only available in the United States and the United Kingdom. That's right. The US and the UK. That is it. So, mobile people, you can't watch it yet. That makes me very sad. Now, technically, because it is HTML5, which is something we'll get around to, you can watch it on your mobile phone without the app. So that is an upside. But yeah, it definitely is an app-only sort of thing. So that's kind of annoying. And US and UK is the only place that the app has been released. Other countries will be coming, quote-unquote, soon. So that's just the first little annoyance in a whole page of annoyances that are coming out here. So if you guys go to YouTube Gaming at some point and you're trying to browse, you're going to notice that they have pop-outs on the left and right side. So when you mouse over them, they pop out. Well, first of all, they don't always work. You go to mouse over them and they pop out and they pop right back in. Or you mouse over them and they don't pop out at all. So you shake the mouse, you finally get them to pop out. As soon as you go to select something, they pop back in. I think that they should have given the option, like Twitch, to have a small section like that, or to have it enlarged. I think that it would have looked much better. It would have worked much better. It might not have looked as nice, and I know that they were kind of going for a slick, streamlined system. We do have Spooner. Spooner, do you have a mic? Doesn't appear he has a mic at this time. Hopefully I'll get one soon. All right. So that is one of the other major annoyances I found, was just trying to navigate the site was really hard. It looks slick, but it's not easy to navigate. The other thing that you should know is that they've combined the search for all the gaming videos and the live streaming, meaning the search is useless. Because they've put all of their YouTube videos in with their live streaming, when you go to look up, as an example, you look at Minecraft, you're going to get live people, you're going to get recordings, everything. And sometimes you can't even tell unless you pay attention for the little live icon that's on there. You can't even tell the difference. And so you could be watching a recording, you could be watching live. Spooner, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
All right, so we're basically just talking about YouTube Gaming at this point. Have you actually checked it out, Spooner?
Yeah, I've actually just gone and had a look, and the first thing that popped into my head was it's really cluttered.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Over the left-hand side, you've got stuff that I couldn't even understand, and on the right-hand side, there's so much going on. It's just mad.
Exactly.
They're just trying to follow Twitch and something that they ain't going to be able to beat. Twitch is too big.
The other problems that I had is that other than combining everything so that the search systems don't work worth shit, they made it so that you can't pop out any window. So you can't pop out the actual video. You can't pop out chat, which means that if you try to full screen like you would on a recorded YouTube video, you can now no longer interact with chat unless you have a separate window open for chat. Which means that you have to
people don't have two monitors.
Yeah, and you have to load it twice. I think that a pop-out system would have been much nicer, like the way they had it before. Oh, sorry, the way Twitch has it, so you can pop things out and you can just kind of set it up the way you want. But they don't have that option. Resizing is even difficult to do. So, like, if you wanted to resize chat or just resize the video, there are only certain options that you have for doing that, and it's kind of a pain. The other thing I noticed, they didn't remove their old streaming system. So they put this new streaming system into place. Well, it looks like a new streaming system. But if you actually go to the old page, you go to the old page where the streaming used to happen on YouTube, which isn't gaming.youtube, but just YouTube user live. I can't remember the entire link. But if you go to their live channel that way, you see the old system with the tiny little window and the chat that only updates every 30 seconds. So it still exists, and it's the same system. You can still watch that same live stream. You can chat that same way. No doubt they've made some improvements that are just not available on the old one, but it's still not that great. The quality of streams. So I was watching a bunch of different streamers play a bunch of different things, and one thing I noticed, even people that were getting you know, 4,000 or 5,000 people, which there were people getting that. The quality of stream just wasn't there. That's something that's been growing on Twitch for quite some time. I must admit, like, I'm used to a certain level of quality when it comes to a stream. When I go and watch a big YouTuber on the gaming YouTube, I was expecting that same quality of stream, and I wasn't getting it. And you were lucky if you got a mic and a webcam. Because that's the thing about YouTube, is that a webcam wasn't always required. So some of these guys don't even own webcams. Now, in the end, are they going to go the lyric route, never go with a webcam, or are they actually going to bring in a webcam? That's tough to say. Hopefully that they improve their stream quality, improve the various things like that, and hopefully, you know, things get better. The other thing that I noticed when it comes to quality of the streams is that most YouTubers don't make good live streamers. I watched quite a few different people, small and large, try their hand at streaming on YouTube gaming, and you can tell the people that had streamed over on Twitch, you could tell who they were. If they hadn't streamed over on Twitch, you could tell that they were very, very lacking, that they really needed editing just to make things work. And this is a big problem when it comes to YouTube, is that they're so used to editing and being able to make those mistakes that they do it right on the live stream, which can be hilarious, but does not create for a good quality of stream. All right, so we've gone through quite a few pieces of YouTube gaming already, and we got a ton more to go through. Why don't we go ahead and ask Sprocket? Sprocket, have you gone to YouTube gaming yet?
I have watched it. While I'm doing this, your mic is stuttering a little bit. It sounds like your sensitivity is set a little bit too high.
No, it's a different mic, so sorry about that.
It's okay. That's what this is all about. Anyway, I went over there yesterday to watch Indy because he decided he was going to check out the live streaming thing yesterday. The issues that we ran into is anybody that is using the HTML5, you buffer all the time. The actual streamer and the video is completely out of sync. A lot of problems like that. And you have people that don't know how to force Flash Player back on, how to turn off the 5 and get Flash Player back on.
Yep.
So if you don't know how to do that, that's a huge, huge issue, and it causes a lot of problems. But on top of that, there was another streamer that I was watching from Twitch. He went over to YouTube, and he now has to, I'm not going to name names because of the issue that he's having. He now has to petition back to YouTube because he played a song on there while he was live streaming that they believed was not copyrighted.
Yes, yes.
A thing popped up on his screen that said, please stop playing the music, or whatever it was that said that he couldn't play it. He didn't shut it off in time. They blacklisted him right there. Right there on the spot, completely shut down his stream, and now he has to petition to be able to stream on YouTube Live again.
And he's got a strike against
it was
his account
a copyrighted song. That was the whole issue. Yeah, and now he has a strike against it, so he has to petition it, and they're saying it can take up to 60 days for it to go through before he can start streaming on YouTube Live again.
He won't even... But
this is one thing I've noticed. Obviously, with Twitch, if you're playing copyrighted music, they won't mute you live. They will just mute your past broadcasts. YouTube live streaming, if you're playing a copyrighted song, they'll mute you during your broadcast until you've turned off your music.
It's not even that they mute you; they straight up block your stream.
Yeah, and it was horrible. I mean, I was horrified when I saw it. It happened in all less than like 1 minute. And I'm like, oh my god, they didn't even give him time to even try and shut down his music player. It just popped up, and then next thing we know, his stream went blank. So, I mean, he might be able to stream before the 60 days, but they're saying it could take up to 60 days to get rid of the mark against him for being over there. Meanwhile, none of his videos that he highlights and puts over there from Twitch, he can't get any of the monetary value from if they deem it that way. So he's completely locked out of everything until he can get it taken care of.
Yeah, that is definitely something that they put in place first day, is Content ID. If a streamer is broadcasting while playing a copyrighted song, even if it's part of the game, they'll get a live warning right up on their screen. And if the song stays on, the stream will be straight up blocked, which counts as a strike against your YouTube channel. And until you petition, you can no longer live stream, you can no longer monetize. That's a huge issue, I think, that is a problem. And it's something that people are going to have to learn to get around, because the thing is, there are games like SimCity, the newest SimCity, not City Skylines or whatever, but the actual SimCity. The music on there is content blocked on YouTube, which means you can't play the newest SimCity on YouTube. There are going to be a lot of games that are going to turn out like this. There's a new game that's just coming out not too long from now, Metal Gear Solid 5. Or has that come out already? Anybody? We don't know. All right.
I'm not sure.
But either way, it has music on there that's copyrighted, and you cannot play on a live stream. On Twitch, you'll be able to play Metal Gear Solid 5, not a problem. Your VODs might get muted. But over on YouTube, you're not going to be able to play Metal Gear Solid 5 at all. And this is going to be an issue, I believe, when it comes to the YouTube gaming system, the way they have it set up. I do want to quickly touch on what Lady Matrix said. Also, Twitch partners have to make sure that their contracts, they can stream elsewhere. Otherwise, they lose their partnership. Lady, we have unconfirmed reports. I've been trying to get a hold of people who've stated these things. That not only if it's in your contract are they losing partnership, there have been people outright banned on Twitch for dual streaming. Not even partners. So you want to watch out for that, because OBS and XSplit are capable of streaming to multiple platforms at the same time. And if you stream to both at the same time, apparently, now this is just hearsay at this point, I'm still trying to find evidence of this, but you could get banned directly from Twitch. The other thing is, like, as an example, Indy was doing a stream over on YouTube. I don't know what Indy's contract is. There was a lot of people coming over. They were on Twitch partners, and they were doing YouTube. I know that currently, the terms of service says that if you're a partner, you can't. I don't know what some people's contracts are. I know that some people weren't able to stream over there, others were. So I think it might just be like the size of the partner, what contract they signed, things like that. It's hard to say. But yeah, there's definitely a ton of stuff about partnership. You want to watch out for your terms of service. And I wouldn't recommend to anybody to dual stream at this time until things get cleared up with that, because we don't know what's happening there. Technically, Twitch has the right to ban anyone. And that means that if you dual stream, they can ban you. Like, that's just something that they can do if they want to. They can ban you for no reason if that's what they want. I don't understand their reasoning, but apparently they decided to do that, which I think is very odd. So let's keep going here. Let's go on to the next section here. To quote-unquote follow someone, you have to add them to your quote-unquote subscribe list on YouTube. This means that there's no separation of who I like to watch live streaming and who I like to watch recorded. Because they put the whole thing into one section, it's going to cause a bunch of different things to happen. Because, like, as an example, the fact that I have, like, I think 106 people that I subscribe to on YouTube, and I didn't add anybody on the live stream because I don't want to watch the recorded videos. I want to watch them live. And I'm just like, well, they should be separate follow systems, but they're not. As I knock my mic over. Sprocket, Spooner, do you have any comments on that particular item?
It's weird. Like, it's like Twitch, for example. If Twitch went to doing proper videos like YouTube does, I'm sure they wouldn't do the same thing. And it's like, let's say if you've got, as you said, like 100 people or so subscribed to watch their actual YouTube videos, and you're going to, let's say, follow 100 people for live streaming, that's 200 people that's going to clutter up your videos.
Mm-hmm.
It's just over the top, and I don't think they've properly thought it all through. I think they're just trying to get into a market that's too big for them.
I don't even necessarily think it's a market that's too big for them. YouTube is huge, right? But I think that they're doing it wrong. And
yeah, that's what I meant.
It's definitely something that needs to be addressed. The problem is that YouTube is putting their system as an addition to their YouTube system, when it should really be a completely separate system, even if it is on the same website. Trigger, basically there are rumors going around that if you dual stream, I don't know if you know what dual streaming is, but if you stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the exact same time using a dual stream system, there have been rumors that people have been banned. Now, I don't know if these rumors are true or not. I just know that like they have not been substantiated that I'm aware of at this time. I've just heard people talking about it. I've been trying to find people to substantiate that rumor, but nothing yet. But yeah, so that follow system just really annoys me. I started watching as soon as YouTube Gaming turned on because I knew that's what our topic was going to be about today. But when I started watching, I put down this. Chatters did not appear to be bad. But that was at the beginning of the night, like the beginning of the time when YouTube Gaming went live. I watched all day, and as the day progressed, the chat turned into more and more trolls. With the large streams, by the end of the time that the streams were getting on, it was basically just a bunch of dicks all in the chat, and that's it. And it was horrible. Everything was just filled with YouTube troll style comments and things like that, and it was just absolutely horrible. And it's like the streamers didn't even care. There are mods and stuff that you can set up, like they did do that, which is good, but it's like nobody cared. The other thing is that the emotes suck. They have probably 200 emotes there at this point, and they're all horrible. They're like the same emotes that are, I don't know, I'd probably say the same emotes that are on like my Windows phone, honestly. That's what they look like. Arrows and different things like that, and it was just absolutely horrible.
Mike, dear.
I do apologize. Go ahead.
Sorry. One of the issues that I've had when looking at some of the streamers and stuff yesterday, I was poking around for a while. I had no clue that this is what you were going to be talking about, but I should have known better. But I went poking around yesterday. The thing that I don't like is what they put up on the live streamers, on their actual pages that are over there, are the same things that I put on video content. The thumbs up, thumbs down. Mm-hmm. You get one troll over there, one person that decides to make a huge splash against any one streamer, live streamer that's over there, and you're never going to be watched because you can't get rid of the thumbs down. Well, yeah. Once you have them, it's just going to be a train wreck. It's going to escalate to a point to where you have to change who you are. You're going to have to change everything about it and try to start all over again. And I don't like the fact that trolls will be able to do that. They don't need that ability, especially on a brand new platform. It's another thing that they're just going to kill themselves with.
Mm-hmm. And I want to actually talk about that system a little bit. So there's a thumbs up, thumbs down system on the live stream. Seems kind of odd, but I figured out what it was for and with some testing. So basically the way it works is your position in the list is actually based off your thumbs up, thumbs down. The top people aren't necessarily the people with the most viewers, but the people with the most thumbs up. And so that means that you can have 8, 9 viewers and yet still be at the top of the list just because you have all these, you have thumbs ups and no thumbs downs. This allows for a better sorted list. I like that portion. The fact that trolls, sorry about that, everybody. The fact that trolls that can come in and hit that thumbs down and that completely ruins your percentages and drops you down the list again, that's kind of annoying. All it takes is for a troll to press that button, and a couple of them come in, they press that button, and you're just going to start dropping down the list, and you're not going to get as many viewers. So that is always an issue. That, yeah, Trigger, no problem. Thanks for the host, by the way. That is always a problem that's going to happen with YouTube Gaming with this system, is that they're going to have instability in where you're going to find somebody. Because, like, from what I can tell, it appears to be percentage-wise, which means that you need to... I just can't think today. I don't know why. which means that the more pluses you have compared to the negatives is good. My recommend. Welcome, Bubbles. Sorry, you made me laugh and made me forget what I was talking about. So, as I was saying, what was I saying? Sprocket, can you clear up my thought?
You're asking the wrong person. I have the attention span of a gnat here. You're talking about the thumbs up, thumbs down list and the percentage of who has what put you up and down.
Oh, yeah.
The list.
So, if it wasn't for trolls, the thumbs up, thumbs down system, I think would be absolutely terrific. The problem is that we're always going to have trolls. Now, if that thumbs up, thumbs down system actually came to Twitch, I think it would be a much better system. The problem is that you think you'd be able to, like, fix it by restarting your stream if you get a lot of trolls? No. That thumbs up, thumbs down carries over to all of your live streams. So, from what I can tell, now it might reset on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, I don't know. But from what I could tell, it was completely live every time I went live. I went live privately, so that nobody could see it. But every time I went live and I tested it, the thumbs up, thumbs down were still there. So that means that they stay around for at least as long as we know at this point. And so that could be an issue. But I believe on a place like Twitch, that could actually be a good feature where we do have some trolls, but less so than YouTube. If you took a look at the YouTube chat, it was just absolutely ridiculously full of trolls. The other thing is that their API, they have a very, very fleshed out API. I love their API. But there's currently no way to show your subs and donators on stream, which could technically be a bad thing. It could be a good thing. Because there also are no annoying dinging and pinging and shouting and things falling all over the screen, which is something that will probably come eventually, but I honestly believe that it's a good thing. You will see, of course, donators in the chat. There's a bot specifically set up on the YouTube chat that tells that information, which is kind of cool, and it highlights it green for everybody so everyone sees it. That I don't like so much. It should be highlighted green for, of course, the streamer, but the streamies, it shouldn't be highlighted for because they don't really care. That is true, Daddy Funktastic. With the streamers turning off their comments, they needed somewhere to rant, and they've now given that to them. The other thing is, okay, so let's talk about monetization. So you want to make money from Twitch. That's very difficult to do. We all know that becoming a partner on Twitch is not the easiest thing that you can do. But becoming a partner on YouTube is actually really easy. I'm a partner on YouTube. I know a bunch of people that are partners on YouTube because YouTube just gives out monetization on ads. So they were like, well, we don't need to have high standards. If somebody's going to get ads for us, even if it's 30, 40 views, we'll do it because we don't have to pay them anything. So YouTube doesn't honestly pay all that much for their ads and things like that. Well, that's the only real monetization, other than donations, of course. It's the only monetization that they have. Now, unlike Twitch, they don't have the ability to say, hey, play 90 seconds of commercials while I'm on break. I'll be back. No, when you go live, you have to set up how often you want it to play a commercial. So it plays a commercial when somebody joins, which is fine. And then it plays a commercial every such minutes, if you want it to. You can turn that off. Which means that in order to make it so that you could make a decent amount of money, you'd have to have a commercial playing every 15 minutes. 15. Because that's the only money you're going to make. You'd have to have a commercial playing every 15 minutes, which is ridiculous. I would much rather be able to play, say, 90 seconds of commercials while I'm on my break than play a commercial every 15 minutes. But they don't give you that option. Could not find any place where I could just click play commercial or play 3 commercials. That just did not exist. I had to set a timer, and then the timer would go off constantly. Well, exactly. That's way too many commercials. Nobody's going to watch that. But it's the only way to make money on there is commercials. And if you, as an example, say you go on a break every hour. So you're like, well, I'll just set the timer up every hour. So every time you go to commercial, you go for break. Okay. That's fine. You're going to play 1 commercial an hour. So one commercial an hour, say you have 1,000 people watching, 500 of those people have it blocked, another 200 don't get a commercial, so now you got 300 people getting a commercial. So 300 an hour, 3, 6, 9, so every 3 hours you're actually going to make money. So you're going to make $10 approximately every 3 hours. That's not a lot of money. And the reason for that is because it's completely based off impressions. You have to get a certain number of impressions before it pays you. And because people use things like ad block on YouTube, people use things like just being out of country, like they're watching from other countries, they don't get ads. And so you'd have to play ads every 15 minutes in order to make money. Because $10 every 3 hours is nothing compared to what Twitch will get you once you're partnered.
I'm going to interrupt you just for a quick second here.
Absolutely.
Bubbles, thank you so much for gifting to the Indie Initiative. I know that Black Dog does not have his alerts up right now, but I do. So thank you very, very much for that.
Oh, thank you very much, Bubbles. That was absolutely terrific of you. It's always great to have people like that. And thank you very much. So yeah, that's a major issue when it comes to YouTube, just because you can't make any money. Sprocket, Spoon, do you guys have any comments on that particular thing?
Well, we do have commercials, and on TV, I would say the commercials run, depending on whether it's a TV show or whether it's a movie that's being showed and how long the movie is. We have commercials that run anywhere from every 10 minutes to every 25. But that is excessive, considering the commercials that you have to run on YouTube are no less than a minute and a half. You will lose viewers during that time. It's like I said earlier, I have the attention span of a gnat, and when it comes to me watching streamers, I have that same attention span. If something exciting is not going on enough to keep my attention through that commercial, I'm not sticking around. And if you want to make money, I understand, but there's got to be another way to be able to do it.
Oh, exactly. Like, even if it's allowing us to play commercials on the hour when I go on break, like, you'll notice here, guys, in 20 minutes, we're going to go take a quick break. And if I had the ability to play commercials, that's where they'd be. Because you're not missing anything, right? And to be honest with you, at this point, I would say if you really, truly want to support somebody over on YouTube, free up their block on your ad blocker, because that's the only revenue they're getting, literally, unless you're donating to them. And we all know that
yes,
donations don't happen very often over on YouTube. I watched huge streamers stream for like 8 hours, and I think he got one donation of $5. And he only played the ad when you joined. He didn't play any ads during that 8-hour stream, so he made like nothing. Now, people might go watch the VOD, and the VOD might have ads every hour or something like that, and he might make some money there. But it's just absolutely ridiculous how they have that set up. So I would recommend, watch the ads, because of the fact that, people need to make money. But be careful. Like, if people start doing what I'm saying and playing ads every 15 minutes, it's not even worth watching. Spooner, you got any comments on that?
Yeah, sorry, I've been watching, doing some research on the thumbs up and thumb down thing with YouTube live gaming. The thing is with ad blocks and ads on YouTube videos, if you've got too many, someone's not going to stick around to watch the whole of your streams or your YouTube videos at the end of the day. Someone sees like 4 or 5 ads in a 30-minute video, they're going to go, I'm not sitting through those ads. If you have 1, yeah, fair enough. 3 or 4, people don't bother. It gets really annoying. I know when I'm trying to watch a YouTube video or a Twitch stream, and that just pops up, it winds me up, because I was enjoying what I was watching. But obviously, we all also need to understand this, how people make their money, so you have to watch a certain amount, don't you?
And that's exactly it. It's something that we need to look at, with an eye. And here on Twitch, the one thing I find is that if people do play ads, in general, not always, but in general, they're smart about it. They do it when they go on breaks and things like that, because then people, first of all, are more likely to stick around. Second of all, they're more likely to watch your ads and just not put an ad block on, because they're not missing content. They're missing a blank chair, right? So ads, I think, they have a time and a place, and Twitch has been figuring it out, and they've been getting pretty good at it. But YouTube, you don't even have the ability to figure it out. Like, it's not possible. And YouTube's current design, I think this is absolutely hilarious. YouTube's current design is not to have active viewers. It's to have people come and go. That's what they want. Like, their current pricing model tells me that they want people to come in, watch for 15 minutes, leave, come in again later. And that way, you know, you get multiple ads when they join, which is not the right way to run a live stream system. You want people to stick around and watch, not just come and go. So why don't we go ahead and we'll move on to the next section here, guys. Where were we? We were at the transcoding options. Go ahead.
Make a comment on what Daddy Funktastic said, because obviously I'm from the UK, so I can see where it's coming from. Most companies like BBC and stuff, they don't play ads, and if they do, it's very rare. But just to be able to watch TV or to have Freeview, Sky, you have to pay for a TV license. It's by law, you have to have it, and it's something like £13. It's like $20 is that? Oh, 1 second. It's £12.12 a month, which is about $20 a month, and that's per every single person in the whole of the UK has to pay that. So I don't think they're losing out on not in for ads.
And that's definitely one way to do it, right?
Yeah, well, if you have to pay by law for a license to watch your TV, then you have to pay. So.
All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is transcoding. Now, at this time, it appears that YouTube has it set up so that everybody, no matter your size, gets transcoding. Like in their YouTube recordings, everybody has the ability to switch from 1080p, 720, so you can you can watch wherever you want, and it doesn't really appear to affect the stream, just the quality. So it's not affecting how quickly it's playing or anything like that. You can go all the way down to 144p. I don't know why anybody would watch in 144p, but you could. The problem that I found is even watching in 144p requires quite a bit of bandwidth, because people are streaming at almost 9,000 kilobits a second. I can't even stream at that rate, and there are people streaming at that, and I'm just like, that's ridiculous. Mobiles can't watch that in source. They can't even watch that on medium for the most part. So they got to watch in low quality. But in order to get 1080p, that's what you have to stream at. That's what it says. You have to stream 6,000 to 9,000 kilobits per second. And that's a lot of bandwidth. But the fact that everybody does have transcoding options means that you can lower it and you can watch it. But it appears that for the equivalent transcoding on YouTube gaming for Twitch, the bandwidth is actually lower on Twitch to watch the same quality, which is kind of cool to see. I don't know why that is. Maybe Twitch just did a better job in their encoding, but sorry about that. But yeah, so that is definitely something that is something to know. And last but not least, when it comes to actually watching of YouTube, with YouTube's rewind system, this means that you can go back and you can watch anything, and you can fast forward, you can rewind right back up to the beginning, allowing you to catch up on the stream. So you can actually sit there and you can fast forward through the boring parts and watch an entire stream and catch up to where the streamer is, allowing you to see the entire stream and not be left behind. This is a feature that I really, really like, if you're not too far behind. If you're like 3 hours behind in a stream, it's hard to catch up, but you can do it. This is probably my favorite thing that they've put into YouTube gaming. It's a really neat system. The problem that I have is that if the streamer messes up and it goes offline for even just a microsecond, or the encoding has an issue and it goes offline for just a microsecond, you can no longer rewind. That's a major issue as far as I'm concerned, because you need to be able to rewind in order for this feature to work. It's a great feature, but if things go offline, it breaks. And the one thing I did notice was that it was happening a lot yesterday, where streams were just going offline. Like, they were just completely dying out and then coming back. And that means that when that was happening, the system wasn't able to show you the rest of the stream that you missed. You could probably go back into the VODs as long as they set their VODs to being listed. By default, VODs are unlisted at first. They're unlisted YouTube videos, so people can edit them, and then they can bring them back. So that's going to cause an issue with that sort of thing. Again, I apologize. So that's definitely something that needs to be looked at, and we need to... I think Twitch should have a system kind of like that. It'd be an amazing system, but I don't know. It seems like it would be a lot of work in order to get a rewind system actually, you know, on a server that works properly. Okay, so we're about to move into like the back-end dashboard, things like that. Before we do, though, I wanted to get Sprocket and Spooner's thoughts more on the front end, like watching of the streams. Anything else you'd like to guys state?
Which kind of streams? You on about YouTube streams or Twitch streams?
We're still talking about YouTube at this point.
I actually haven't watched any yet, but I did have a little sneak peek into the YouTube one. I noticed they obviously don't have the pout bit, and if you and like large it and stuff, you don't get to see chat unless you pop it out, but you can't pop it out. So it's got a lot of improvements to go. But I think if they spend a lot of time reading the reports of what people say and messing around with it, I think they can get it good. It'll just take some time, I think.
Rocket, do you have anything you'd like to add? I'll take that as a no. I don't even know if she's actually here.
No, sorry about that. Goblin decided to completely unplug the computer from the wall earlier.
What happened
so
to
I
you.
did miss part of the conversation, but yeah, that is exactly what happened to me. The issue that I'm seeing some of the streamers and viewers having is, like I stated earlier, the whole Flash not being the main, you know, the main video viewer that you're watching, and there's no way to actually pull up the help on there unless you really know how to navigate YouTube, and they need that in there. I know that YouTube wants to use the HTML5 over Flash, but it's not ready, and YouTube needed probably another few weeks to a couple of months to actually be ready for the amount of streamers that wanted to be on there at one time. They got flooded in, and I watched people get knocked off of there because they just couldn't handle it. And I know, like I said, I was watching a couple different streamers on there, and they were having to reconnect about every 15 or 20 minutes. And it was saying that the system was full, and they had to wait a couple minutes before they can get back on. So that's an issue they're going to have to look at.
It's definitely true. Definitely true. And yeah, and like, it probably could have used some more tweaking. They finally, like, by the end of the day, it seemed like it was working pretty good, but there were definitely still some issues that needed to be addressed, and that's going to keep causing issues, I believe. But yeah, let's go ahead, and we're going to move on to dashboard and customization. All right, guys. So, of course, anybody that streams on Twitch, you know what a dashboard looks like on Twitch. The YouTube dashboard, not much different. Little things that you need to know, and we're going to talk about those. Let's get right into the fact that right in the dashboard as well, you cannot pop out the video, you cannot pop out the chat. It's the exact same as the actual front end. There's no popping out of any of that. I looked all over. There's no way to customize your front end page. So, like, you know how on Twitch we have the ability to add like little markers underneath and things like that. We have the ability to use you know, some customizations down below so that things look nice, give some information. They do have an information panel on the front end, and you can fill that in, but there's no way to customize it. You can't put pictures in and things like that. It's literally just text and links. I couldn't find a way to get pictures in there. That doesn't mean that there isn't a way. It just means that nobody's figured it out currently. And that's kind of a pain because it should be there. So that's kind of a big thing for me. The fact that you can't set your page apart using like page customization is a major thing. You need to be able to set page customization. There is no third-party chat yet. I don't know if there ever will be. There looks like they're still using their same chat system as they were using before. So what this means for YouTube gaming is, I don't know if they're going to be able to do a third-party chat. I was looking through all the APIs. I couldn't find any chat hooks. So it's hard to say if they'll be able to make a third-party app like Chatty. Only time will tell. People will have to look at that API and figure it out. But at this time, there's nothing.
Give it a couple of weeks. They'll probably come up with something.
Somebody will come up with something, yeah. So now, the biggest thing that they did give is low latency option for better chat interaction, quote unquote. Now, I did test these out. So if you don't have the low latency option turned on, it's about 20 to 25 seconds between you and your chat. Okay, that's not horrible. What are we right now? So if I actually just go and click here, what am I? Video playback stats says... I don't even know where it is right now. Playback rate. I think my video is too small to show it. Give me one setting. 1 second. Let's make it bigger. There it is. Latency to broadcaster right now for me is approximately 14 seconds. That's not bad at all, actually. But like, if it's about 20 to 25 seconds again, if you're not using the latency option in YouTube gaming. If you do use the latency option in gaming so that you can have better chat interaction, it does increase buffering, just like with Twitch. And guess what? It's 15 seconds, approximately. So as far as the latency goes, Twitch, YouTube, exactly the same. I just bit my tongue. That kind of hurt. Why don't somebody tell me, what do you guys think of that? Like, do you think that they should be improving that? Are they perfectly fine where Twitch is, Sprocket? What do you think? Okay, how about Spooner? Spooner, what do you think?
About latency?
Yeah.
30 seconds. If you're a small streamer and you've not got great internet, it's about average. You averagely get about 30 seconds to a minute latency before you can, obviously, you get to properly reply to your chat. So, for a startup stream, it's not that bad, but for a big streamer, they won't like it. Obviously, if they're used to like 10, 15 seconds to reply to the chat.
Yeah, sorry about that, Black Dog. I was chasing after a goblin. He ran off with my mouse. It's just a goblin day today. He decided not to go down for his nap. Yeah, the latency between chat and streamer it's going to be a huge deal. They do need to fix it. But the same can be said for both Twitch and for YouTube, because it's some of my streams. There is a good 45 seconds to a minute between my video and the chat, between me saying something and them hearing it. So it becomes a huge problem when you're trying to actually interact with anybody. Luckily, some of the streamers yesterday that I was watching on YouTube only had about a 10-second delay between both of them, and it seemed very quick and a lot better. So as far as I'm concerned, any streaming platform needs to work on that. It needs to have the ability to interact better. I don't think there should be more than a 20-second delay at all on any streaming platform.
All right, that I completely agree with. And Bubbles, yeah, my tongue is fine, just a little bit of blood. So the next thing we're going to talk about here, guys, is going to be the fact that streaming is not all about gaming over on gaming.youtube. If you go into your dashboard, you do have the ability to select all sorts of categories, but it appears to be the old streaming system when you do it. So if you select anything that's not gaming, you'll use the old streaming platform. Now, the old streaming platform and the new streaming platform, other than looks, are the exact same. There's no difference now. They took their software, everything's been merged into one. So their old streaming platform actually works better than it used to, which is good. which will allow people to do non-gaming streams and things like that. I think that might end up being a draw to YouTube. The fact that you can do things like non-gaming, and that's going to be a big thing. That's one thing I do like about Beam You Mad, is the fact that it does only have a 5-second. I think people could learn from that. It's something that they specifically did proprietary to make sure that they had low latency for chat interaction, and that was a big thing for Beam. And I think Beam, honestly, is happy that YouTube is around now, because it gives another big guy basically to beat up on Twitch, and maybe people will get used to there being multiple. I think that's what they said in their review of it. So yeah, the fact that you can do non-gaming stuff is going to be a big thing for YouTube, I think. Because, of course, Twitch, all about gaming. So the next thing I want to bring up is the stream keys. So here on TII, we give out individual stream keys to each user. This way we know who's streaming. It allows us to not take over each other's streams and things like that by reconnecting with stream keys. By using different stream keys, it keeps us from overriding each other. Group channels over on YouTube cannot do this. There's one stream key for the channel, that is it. Now, the way a single stream key works is if I'm streaming and Sprocket has the same stream key, and she decides to accidentally, even if it's an accident, she hits that start streaming button, kicks me off and brings her live. That's because it's the same stream key, so the system goes, wait a minute, new stream, so the old stream must not actually be live. And so it kicks it off and it brings up the new stream. That's a bad thing. The fact that we can't give out multiple stream keys is a horrible idea. So if you wanted to start something like TII over on YouTube Gaming, it'd be really difficult. You could have a troll who comes along and just starts kicking people off, and you'd never know who it was, because they just start, stop, and you'd never know who went live, which is absolutely ludicrous. And they need to make sure that they get that fixed, because in order to have group streaming like this, it's just not going to be possible. Again, you know, the Indie Initiative here, we're a bunch of different streamers. There's probably, how many right now, Sprocket, you think? 30?
At least 30, yeah. We have a few people that show up about once a month for a nice long stream, so we do have at least 30 that are on the schedule.
So we've got 30 people that are actively scheduled. I think we're closer to 50 members. Some of them aren't actively streaming right now. Yeah, just not actively streaming right now, but they could very, very soon. So that number does fluctuate, of course, but we have a ton of people streaming. And could you imagine if we got a troll in here kicking everyone off? It would be horrible for the Indie Initiative, which is why we have different stream keys per person. And it allows us to, you know, do things properly. Sprocket, what do you think of the fact that YouTube decided to do the single stream key option? That's actually a very good reply. That's all you needed. Just that.
there really is nothing else to say about it. The single stream key, it's another one of the, they were not ready, not completely ready to open up. The single stream key, it's all comes down to trolls. I have a huge issue with the trolls over at YouTube to begin with. And all it takes is one person bad-mouthing one person and saying that what they're doing is just complete rubbish, and everybody will jump on the bandwagon. There's too many lemmings over on YouTube for my own taste. But yeah, the single stream key is going to be a huge issue if they don't change that within the week.
Yep.
I would say.
Now, at least they gave you the ability to reset the stream key, but yeah, it is single stream key, and I think that's going to be a problem because, like, we have over there, they have these large groups like Machina, whatever you want to call it, Ex Machina, and a bunch of other places like that, and it's got a single stream key. I don't know how they're going to run that for their live stream, or if they're even going to bother. Maybe Ex Machina or some of these other large groups aren't going to do live streaming. Although that's going to be a loss to them, I think. And in the end, I think will be detrimental to them. Has what been around for a while, Daddy Funktastic? I'm confused. I don't know. So yeah, that's going to be a major thing, the fact that there's only one stream key. Now there are upsides to YouTube gaming. Let's go ahead and move on to one of the upsides. You can create a private stream. Have you ever wanted to just stream for you and your friends? Have you ever wanted to test a stream without anybody knowing? Have you ever wanted to, just stream for your subscribers? That's right. You have that ability on YouTube gaming. You can set up private streams and invite who you want. I think that's a feature, honestly, that Twitch should have. I see absolutely no problem with it. There is a large Twitch streamer who does private streams for just his subscribers. His name is Sevidus, guys. Absolutely hilarious streams. He records YouTube videos, and he actually live streams his recording so that his subscribers can see it. It's an amazing system. Now, he has had to set up his own ingest server, his own recording system, everything in order to do this. But it's just for his subscribers over on Twitch, still uses Twitch chat, things like that. And he does that in order to get things going. Well, there you go, Daddy Funktastic. So yeah, that's going to be something that I think is going to be a great addition to YouTube, and something that should be added to Twitch, because it's an amazing, amazing idea. Next thing, a really good idea, the ability to set a constant thumbnail. If you were to go out and you looked in the gaming category, most likely you're going to see my face, BDZ Helpdesk, and what's down below. But what I'd honestly like to put is a thumbnail for BDZ Helpdesk. I would love to have that as the main focus, where I could put whatever I wanted, where I could, jazz it up. But that's not what you guys see here on the stream. We need to be able to do that. Having a constant thumbnail at the beginning, I think, will help attract people, because you'll be able to put what you want. And you can, be a little more on topic with your thumbnail, or you don't have to be. You can be wacky with your thumbnail. And that's one thing YouTube did, is they allowed you, when you go live, you can put up a thumbnail. That's going to be your thumbnail for the stream. It's also going to be your offline thumbnail when you go offline at the end of that stream. You can, of course, change it whenever you want. You can have it separate, offline, online. You can do whatever you wish to do, but there's a bunch of different thumbnails that you can set, which is absolutely terrific. I think this is, again, a feature that I absolutely love, and it's something that YouTube did right, and I think that's because, again, it carried over from their recordings. Thumbnails are important to those recordings, right? Next up, we have the fact that they have primary and backup ingest servers. So you can set up your stream to stream to both servers. And if one goes down, everyone flips to the other one automatically. You don't go down. But this does require double bandwidth, which means that if you're streaming at 2.5, that means you're now streaming at 5. It's high bandwidth usage, but it might actually be worth it if you've got the internet to spare. It's an absolutely amazing idea, and again, another upside that it did. You don't have to stream to both. It's an option that you can do, and it will make your stream even more reliable. Galactic Science, that awkward gamer 99. I actually played some Galactic Science on the weekend over on my channel. I do apologize if you missed it. I have canceled my Wednesday show here for now. We will be starting it up, I want to say next week, but it has not been scheduled at this time, so I do not know. I recommend following me over on my channel if you haven't yet, just to make sure that you know when we go live, so that you can see it on my channel. But let's go ahead and get back into it. So that is a big thing for that fact that, that's 3 positives right there. Private streams, setting thumbnails, and the backup ingest server. Sprocket, do you have any comments on these 3 things?
Oh, these things are absolutely wonderful. These are a few reasons why I really like about the live streaming over there. If it could be integrated into Twitch, Twitch would be hands down the best place to be, because that's something that they already have so much over the other streaming platforms. I'm not going to stream over on YouTube at all. That's never going to happen. But I love digging into seeing what they're going to be doing next. If they can fix the key problem, if they can fix the buffering problem and the syncing problem, they can beat Twitch. Only because people can set what they want for the thumbnails. They can set everything else that they need on that aspect of it. So they are ahead of the game on that side of it. So there's a lot of good and bad with YouTube right now. This they made sure was done because this is their edge over everybody else right now.
Spooner, do you have anything you'd like to comment on those items?
Yeah, I think I agree with everything you've already said. I think if Twitch could let you have thumbnails, I think things would be a lot easier, because obviously sometimes you can just judge what a stream is going to be like just from what the thumbnail could be. Like, you can just tell from a picture. You can tell anything from one little thing. The backup servers, I think it's good. It's brilliant if you have great internet connection, but it's a little bit of a bummer for the people who don't. But I think everything that has put on there, the good sides of it all, should definitely be brought over to Twitch. And then I think Twitch is not far off perfect, apart from the little bits and bobs you need to fix up on.
All right.
I mean, that thumbnail ability, if Twitch had it, do you imagine every time TII went live, each one of us had our own little thumbnail that would go up there? People would be able to easily track who was streaming on TII at that point. I mean, it's brilliant. It's an absolutely brilliant idea, and I wish Twitch would have thought of it first, honestly.
Well, here's the thing. Technically, Twitch did think of it first. Twitch people, not necessarily the employees, but, you know, our streamers have been saying we need this feature forever. They just haven't done it, and I do not know why they didn't do it, and hopefully they'll do it soon now that they see that YouTube's doing it, because that's a big feature that everybody wants, and could be detrimental to Twitch if they don't add it in. The next big thing that YouTube has that Twitch doesn't: a max bitrate of 9,000 kilobits a second. So Twitch's max bitrate is 3,500. You can go to 9,000 on YouTube gaming. This means 1080p, 60 frames, no glitches, no jump cuts, nothing. Everything looks smooth as butter. It also means that you have to have one heck of an internet just to watch it, but it's completely useful. And since everybody has encoding, if you can't watch it at that level, you can just drop it down to 720p 30 frames, or, you know, 580 or whatever you want to drop it down to, and you can watch it at that level instead. So that's a major upside, the fact that they can do, you know, 1080p 60 frames a second properly. You can't do that here on Twitch yet. That's just a thing that does not happen. The other thing is that the downside to this 9,000 kilobits a second, due to the high max bitrate, quite a few streamers are streaming at this high bitrate. This is bad for mobile users, because the one thing I found out is if you're trying to watch it on mobile, if somebody is streaming at 9,000 kilobits a second and your YouTube is set up to be set to high quality, okay? So your YouTube account's set to high quality, you go on your mobile and you try to load them up. Well, the first time you load them up, it's automatically going to try to load them as high quality, which means it's going to fail. You don't have the ability to change source because it never loaded. If it loads, you can change source, which is great, because if it's stuttering or whatever, you can just drop it down. But if it doesn't load at all, you can't. So then you hit the refresh, and then it reloads, and it reloads at 480p, and then you can adjust from there. It's kind of a pain. Yes, Bubbles, I completely agree. Just read your comment there, that if YouTube were to sign a deal with a major gaming tournament like ESL or something like that, man, would they have something to show for it. That is for sure. But yeah, like I was saying, that is going to be a big upbringing, the 9,000 kilobits a second. That's a big thing. It's also a downside. The fact that you can't predetermine where the stream starts at is kind of annoying. You can technically, you can go in and say high or low on your settings on your account, and then you can switch it as needed. But like my account is set to HD resolution, 1080p when possible, because YouTube. And then when I go to watch it on my phone, it tries to load that, and it doesn't even load properly. That's fine, Bubbles. I absolutely love that. I love that comment. It was a great great comment, and honestly, that's what we're here for. You comment in the chat, we talk about it. So that is both an upside and a downside. Another upside: HTML 5 streaming using H.264. The downside is it's not quite ready yet, but had they have gotten it ready, or even where it's at, it's still better than the flash that Twitch uses. There is no memory leak, mostly. I should state that mostly. It appears that their chat has a memory leak, so if you have chat loaded, it will eventually memory leak out. It does take a day, maybe 2, before it's going to completely leach out of the system, but there is a small memory leak, and I believe it's in chat. But as far as their HTML5 streaming goes, when it works beautifully. I really like the look of it. They do have a flash backup if the HTML5 doesn't load, although some people are saying that they were having problems with the HTML5 because it still needs some work. But I think that it's definitely a step in the right direction. And that's going to be a big thing. What do we got here? Raging Falcon, I believe that we definitely talked about this a little earlier. It's definitely something that they need to work on. I don't like the open function of ads that they have currently, because you can't just play an ad. You have to set timers and have them play every so often. I guess technically in your dashboard there'd be no problem with setting a timer for 1 minute, playing an ad, and then turning off the timer. But now that I think about it, but it's still a difficult thing that you have to keep track of. There's no automated system where I can say, hey, play 90 seconds of ads while I go on break. Things like that. And it's something that I think they need in their ad system for their ads. They also need a subscriber system because their ads just don't make money. Not have email verification, only phone via text or automated voice call. Yeah, I believe that that is how it works, which is helping, but which I think will help in the long run. Once they get everything sorted out, people get moderators, and they decide what they want their chat to look like, and they start banning the streamers. That is definitely something, Big Boo, that I think will be handy once, you know, people start regulating what they want and don't want on their streams, which I think will happen. Like, don't get me wrong, it will eventually happen. So the other thing that I wanted to state is that there's no way to do highlighting, whispering, any of the chat features that we currently have. There's no way to do that in YouTube chat. So if you type someone's name, it doesn't highlight it. If you do @ something, it doesn't highlight it. Nothing highlights chat lines. The only chat lines that get highlighted are donations, and they get highlighted for everybody. And I think that that is not a great system for their chat. They need to develop their chat more. They're still using pretty much the old style chat. Yeah, it looks nicer, but it's still pretty much the old chat they used to use, that eventually turns into comments in the VOD system. And I don't know, because I didn't look at any VODs afterwards, if the chat is available. I'd like to know that. That's definitely something to see, if the chat was turned into comments or how that works. So that's definitely something to look for in the future. A group system? No, they do not. They do not have a group system. And I was actually talking about that. They have a single stream key, which means that you could technically do a group system and do multiple people like you do here on TII. We'd all be using the same key, which is a problem. Because if you get one person with that key who uses it irresponsibly, they can start kicking people off the stream. And that's not what we want to happen. So that's definitely something that needs to be, set up. Well, yeah, YouTube still needs time to copy Twitch. That's definitely something that's going to take some time. But Twitch is going to copy YouTube too. They're going to find the good stuff, like the stuff I stated, the private streams, the thumbnail, backup ingest servers, max bitrate, and Twitch is going to start doing those as well. I guarantee you that they're working on them right now. Guys, it is 3:15. We have 45 minutes left in the show. We are going to go ahead and take our break. We will be back, and we're going to talk more about this here just in a moment.
What's up, people? Indies here, and I want to talk to you about something amazing called the Indie Initiative. The Indie Initiative is a variety channel on Twitch that is live almost 24/7. Just go to twitch.tv/The Indie Initiative and check it out. We made this channel as a way to help streamers come together, form communities, gain followers, and build up their own channel. We have all kinds of stream on that channel. We have indie gamers, we've got AAA gamers, we've got people that make art, and they all bring something different for you to get that perfect Twitch experience. With new streamers joining every month, you will always discover somebody that you didn't know about. We have some great things coming up in the near future that you don't want to miss. I really want you to come to the channel at twitch.tv/TheIndieInitiative and check it out. You might even want to apply and join these amazing streamers yourself. So come on and check it out. This is Indy, and I will talk to you later. Peace.
All right, everybody, and we're back, and I hope that you guys had yourselves a wonderful time on that break. It was just a short break so that we could get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, things like that. I want to thank you all for waiting here. It is absolutely terrific of you to actually, come back, sit down, talk to us about all of the stuff we're going to be talking about here today. And guys, I do want to take the time to thank you because we don't have the system up for any donations, any follows, anything like that to the Indie Initiative that you gave. It's absolutely terrific of you to do. And let me tell you, it's absolutely great. Oh no, that wasn't me. That was Indy. I wish that was me, man. That's an amazing beard. Unfortunately, we don't generally do links in this show, but if you tell me what it's for, let me see here. Where was that? It disappeared. We generally don't do links unless we know what they're for. If you could let them know, let us know. Usually, we're pretty good about it. Find networking. For example, I got in contact with an indie game dev today. Sent me a copy, and I will participate in the dev interview on the show. Nice, indie gamer. That's always great. That's one way to do it, man. You got to make contacts. You got to learn and talk to people, and then eventually, they will come around. And it's not about asking and things like that. It's about becoming friends, meeting new people, and having fun doing it. Let me tell you, it can be terrific. Now, we're all done talking about YouTube gaming, guys. Overall, I think they got some work to do in order just to be a competitor with Twitch. They definitely did not surpass Twitch in any means other than the three that I stated, which was, you know, the private streams, the constant thumbnail, and the backup servers. And, well, I guess there's also the 9,000 bit rate. So those are the major ups. There were a ton of downs that we talked about. Their HTML5 not working properly. Their ad system, a whole bunch of other things. Just their experience overall is not very great at this point. Now, it is beta. It is just being released, so who knows what's to come. They could be adding things on a daily basis. Let's go ahead and move on to our next subject, though. We're going to talk about Twitch. What's new? All right, guys, so this is where we talk about new things that are happening on the Twitch playground, and just all sorts of things. Let's start with new things on streams. Now, I haven't seen any new things happening in streams lately, nothing really major. It seems to me that people lately have been going more minimalistic, less fancy backgrounds, less clutter on their screen, things like that. Everybody seems to be going the more minimalistic approach, and it seems to be the way to go. A nice clean screen seems to be what people want. Sprocket, have you seen any new things happening in streaming lately? How about you, Spooner? Anybody?
Yeah, sorry, I'm making food. I have noticed when, like, I first came to Twitch, a lot of people were using these gorgeous overlays and stuff like that. But now I've been going to some of the bigger channels, I've been just noticing that they've had, you know, next to no overlay at all, and all they've been having is their camera and a few little donation things and follower setups, and that's about it. And I think in some ways it's good, because people like minimalistic, but in some ways, some people like to see ones that, you know, people have made effort with their overlays with. So it's good and bad in both senses, depending on the people you're going for.
Oh, exactly. And I think that, you know, there's definitely different sides to take on that. There's some people still using the major pretty overlays and stuff. And, you know, yeah, and there are certain things I'm not a big fan of, Tony. I don't like huge animations. I don't like things like that. Keep it simple. You can still have an overlay. I have an overlay on this channel, mostly because we're just talking. And, you know, you want to know what the name of the channel is. Sorry, the name of the show is. You want to know, you know, what's going to be talked about and things like that. So I put that on screen so you guys know exactly where we're at, how we're going to be going in the future here. So if you guys need to run away, you'll know what you're coming back to. And that's something that, you know, you got to try to do, is decide what overlay is going to be for your particular quote-unquote show, right?
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
The overlays, you should know my outtake on the overlays by now. I don't like the fact people using the huge overlays that give you that itty-bitty little screen. I do not watch any stream except for TII when I'm offline, and stuff like Helpdesk or stuff like Bunch of Idiots. That's the only time I actually go full screen. So I have a small screen to begin with, so I don't like those huge overlays that only give you a quarter to a half a screen on their actual stream just for whatever they happen to be streaming at the time. I have a huge issue with that. The other one is a lot of people just like to have the bigger ones there and just clutter it with a bunch of nonsense, stuff that's non-essential. There's a lot of people that stream in a lot of different stream groups, a lot of different networks that love to advertise who they're with. You have to make sure that it's not too huge, because then it overtakes your actual stream and it becomes distracting to what you're trying to show people. I'm one of those people that takes the nice streamline overlays that either the bottom or the top, maybe a side panel, but it's very small. But if you ever watch my streams, you'll notice that I put a lot of stuff around the outside edges. Like my plane now is usually along the bottom. If I have Twitter and Twitch, it's up along one side. My followers are in another area. It's all very small around the outside borders, and it doesn't cover up my actual game that I'm playing. So I have a huge issue with those that have the small screen areas. I can understand, like I said, I have 5 groups, I believe, that I have up on my stream at all times, but I put them in areas that it doesn't cover up other things. And I don't take a huge area for them. They're just big enough to be able to make out what they are, but they don't overtake my actual stream. So that's my opinion.
Oh, there you go. I have been noticing that some people have been getting fancier with the animations. Something that's really big is to have multiple things displayed in the same area and animate them so that they can like slide in and out and show different things. Some people have done a really good job at this. Other people have not. As an example, let's just use somebody who was on the show last week, Geezer HD, a great streamer friend of mine. Whenever he gets a follower or things like that, I do believe donations do it too. It slides out in the top corner, and I think I really like that because it slides out for a minute and then disappears. Very minimalistic, and if he wanted to put other things like that, he could have that slide out as well. Depends on the game. I have a poker on the screen. The followers are song. So yeah, that's completely it, Mubad. That's definitely something that you need to. It changes per game because, like, in some games, information may be required. In other games, it's not, and so you can kind of decide what you want to put on the screen depending on like the game you're playing, what changes, things like that. With a game like a show like this, technically I can just cover the screen and stuff because honestly, you don't even have to watch it. It's completely all about voice. I'm on the screen just so that there's something on the screen. And when we have a guest, we also bring them on the screen as well if they want. But, you know, that's just how it goes. And so at this particular stream, you know, the overlay doesn't really mean anything because I assume half the people that are here aren't actually watching, they're just listening and maybe typing in chat. But that's just, you know, that's how this particular stream is, and each one is going to be a little bit different. I do want to sit down and talk about the next thing here, which is actually what Twitch has been doing to upgrade Twitch. I don't know if you guys are aware, but on August 3rd, which is still 2 weeks ago, Twitch hasn't done anything in the last 2 weeks, guys. Just be forewarned of that. But that doesn't mean they're not working on something, we just don't know what it is. But on August 3rd, they brought out a bunch of new, what's referred to as population servers. These are servers to stream from. They brought them out in Hong Kong, Japan, and South Korea. They're brand new servers. They upgraded servers in London, Frankfurt, Stockholm, Amsterdam, Seattle, Chicago, Miami, and San Jose, which means that a lot of their servers that were, you know, maxed out or having issues have now been upgraded, and they should be able to hold a ton more people. This is also about the same time that they upgraded the transcoding to allow more streams to transcode, and that's a big thing as well. And then on July 22nd, which is basically a month, just over a month ago now, they of course added the HTML5 controls to the streams. Now, I would like to state that that isn't completed yet. It's been over a month, guys, and this has not been completed yet. I still, looking at my streams, any stream I watch, I'm still on the old Flash player. The HTML5 overlay is not there. And that, I think, is going to be Twitch's downfall. They need to make sure that they're getting this stuff rolled out as quickly as they're making it. And they need to make sure that they're making stuff, because, like, nothing in the last 2 weeks, they haven't mentioned anything. They've just been talking about packs, basically. And so YouTube came out. They have all these features. People are going, well, Twitch isn't getting anything new. They're not upgrading. So what is it that's going to be happening? Transcoding is a massive issue, yes. So when you switch from non-transcoding to transcoding, you do lose people. And that's kind of annoying. They have to refresh in order to get it working. And a lot of people will, for the most part. But no, you're right, indie gamer. That can be a huge issue. So you get transcoding and you could lose viewers because they think your stream's gone offline. So as far as Twitch goes, there hasn't been a lot to talk about here, guys. So I'm hoping that, you know, next week, Twitch, if you're watching somewhere in the background, I'm hoping next week that, you know, things actually go around and, you know, have some updates, or, you know, they at least talk about some updates. Maybe they'll do something at TwitchCon. Maybe they'll, sorry, not TwitchCon, PAX East. Maybe they'll be like, PAX West? Yeah, it's PAX West. Maybe they'll be, maybe it's called PAX. I have no clue what they call it now. But it's a PAX. Maybe they'll have new features that they'll release there. Who knows? But they need to do something if they're going to keep up. And that's a big thing. Yeah, and who knows exactly how much that's going to affect people. I've seen people lose just a couple of viewers. I've seen people lose a lot. So the transcoding can be a very massive issue, though. So there are upsides and downsides to it, but that's always something that's been there. That is something that transcoding has always been an issue. And I think that's something they need to look at. Maybe they need to do like YouTube and transcode everybody. It's just, you know, it's about time. Let's move on to number 3, which is video games coming out this week. So I was taking a look. There aren't a lot of great video games. I'm going to go over them. You guys can decide for yourself whether or not you think they're video games you're worth wanting to go get. Maybe we'll talk about some of these. Sprocket, Spooner, as I'm stating these games. Well, first of all, did you guys have anything else to state about Twitch updates before I move on?
I'm just sad that they haven't done any yet.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to list a game, guys. I might talk about it. I might not. Sprocket, Spooner, jump in if you want to say something about one of these games. Okay?
Will do.
All right, so the first game up here, guys, is today, actually. A new game is being released on iOS and Android. It's a mobile game, of course. Lara Croft Go. That comes out today. It's a Lara Croft game. Everybody knows what those are. Tomb Raider-style games. I expect it to be like all of the others. Next up, we have Layers of Fear coming out for the PC today. I haven't actually had a chance to check this out. Could be neat, something to check out. It hasn't really had any advertising or anything. It's probably a smaller game. But it's definitely something you might want to check out. I don't know.
It's had a lot of cover on Twitter, not really on much else, but the devs and the people that got the beta test it have just been blasting it for the past couple of days because of the release today. So a lot of the beta testers were saying that it's a really, really good game, but they're not giving a lot of information of why they think it's that good. So I'm going to have to look into it as well.
The only information I see on it says Layers of Fear is like PT on drugs. A freaky first-person horror game.
And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that everybody has been giving for the past few days.
The fact that it's a horror game, and, you know, we're heading into September, heading to October here, it might be worth checking out just to play in October, because everybody knows October's horror month. I don't care who you are. You're playing horror games in October because that's the thing to do.
It's a horror game. Of course I'm going to have to try and either get it or get a key for it or look into it. It's one of my favorite genres of games to play.
Now, a game that I will actually be picking up after the stream here, guys, coming out on Wii U, Runbow. Now,
I don't have consoles.
Runbow is definitely a different game. Let's see if we can get you guys a proper description here. Runbow. So you can pick it up in the eShop. I'm actually going down to the store to get it. Runbow's basically a platformer game, guys. In the games, see if we can find some information here. It's a beautiful platformer game, very cartoony in style. It looks like, yeah, I think people will like it. Let's see.
It's a Finnish game. It looks like the retro version of Super Metroid. You're basically like a commando guy running around, dodging bullets and stuff, and shooting aliens.
Yeah. The review doesn't really have, you know, a great consensus on what it is, but it isn't. It is technically an action racing game because it can be done multiplayer, and you're racing against each other. Think of speedrunners with enemies and bullets. That's right, guys. It looks like it could be a ton of fun. I'm going to pick it up. Unfortunately, I don't even know how much it is. Oh well. It's going to be $60 or less, guys. Check it out. Maybe check it out in the Wii U eShop, and you can decide whether or not you like it. It seems like it could be a good game, though. What do we got next? Next up, we have one I have not checked out. Comes out tomorrow, guys. It's called Satellite Rain for the PC.
Haven't even heard of it.
Neither.
But then again, I haven't been looking into a lot of the games lately either.
Let's see if we can find out about Satellite Rain here. Satellite Rain. Kotaku did a review on Satellite Rain. It's going to be released on Steam, so let's go ahead and bring up the Steam page here. It is early access. Get instant access playing the game. Looks like you can buy it now. It might have been released a day early. Satellite Rain is a real-time, class-based strategy game set in an open-world cyberpunk city. You command a group of 4 agents through rain-soaked neon-lit street, where the law is the will of mega corporate. Wait a minute. So, it's Shadowrun under another name.
Yes, that's exactly what it sounds like.
But it looks like it's not turn-based. So Shadowrun, of course, is a turn-based style game. This appears to be real-time. So
I might have to check it out then.
Yeah, it's definitely 3/4 view top, and it looks very Shadowrun-y.
It looks like it's a cross between like Shadowrun and Red Solstice.
So it's definitely something to check out, guys. It is early access, $32.99 Canadian. I don't know what it is in the States. There are soundtracks, novels, and art books that you can get. Total of $17.70 Canadian. I'm assuming $15 American and $29.99 American for the game. So that is definitely something to check out. It definitely looks like it could be a good game. I hadn't checked it out before now, but it's something to check out. Next up, Azure Striker Gunvolt for the PC. Again, that's Azure Striker Gunvolt for the PC. You can go to gunvolt.com in order to look at it. I haven't really checked it out, nor do I know anything about it. How about you guys? Anything?
I haven't even heard of it.
Me either.
Steam powered. There we go. So it is coming out on Steam on August 28th. Azure Striker Gunvolt is a 2D action game featuring the talents of star creator Keiji Inafune, and the executive producer and action supervisor. With the septimal power to create and manipulate lightning, Gunvolt faces off against a massive conglomerate known as Sumeragi Group. Intense battles unfold against Sumeragi's ultra-powerful adepts who possess septimal powers as well, as Gunvolt fights to keep his nation free. So guys, it looks, I want to say Mega Man-esque. It is 2D. It's very Mega Man-esque. But I want to say it's got a hint of Japanese, probably because it's made by the Japanese. So it's very like anime Mega Man. We'll go that way. That seems like a good name for it. It is coming out on Steam. It doesn't state how much it is at this time. We will find out tomorrow, I guess. In approximately 22 hours. All right. So next up, we have Blues and Bullets coming out on the Xbox One. Guys, Blues and Bullets. It is an Xbox One exclusive. Blues and Bullets is an episodic, alternate history, noir-styled game developed by a crowd of monsters.
See, it's games like this that's gonna have to make me get consoles.
It looks like it was released for Windows on the 23rd. So I bet you we can find it on Steam. Yep, it's on Steam. Blues and Bullets on Steam. You can get this on Steam. It's just coming out on Xbox now. Does it have information? Elliot Ness, a former leader of the legendary Untouchables, wished only to spend the rest of his days working in his diner, not dwelling too much on the cesspit of corruption in the city Santa Esperanza has degenerated into. But some things rarely go as planned.
And it has Elliot Ness. Oh, it's going on my wish list here.
Blues and Bullets is $5.49 for the first episode. To buy the complete season, it is $21.99. The season pass for episodes 2 through 5, if you want to purchase one and find out, and then buy 2 through 5. 2 through 5 is $18.99. So you add the two together. This again, Canadian prices, guys. I do not know the American prices. You'll have to check that out on Steam to find the American prices for yourself. But that is definitely something to check out. Next up, coming out on Xbox One, we have Nova 111. Nova 111 is made by Functronic Labs, and this is a turn-based world with real-time elements. See if I can find some information on it. Hey, look, it looks like it came out on computer at some point. It is available on Steam. It is a bright and colorful puzzle adventure roguelite set in a universe where turn-based and real-time mechanics collide. Dynamic soundtrack is by Jack Menhorn. So that's kind of an overview of what that is. It definitely looks different, that is for sure. Definitely something to check out. It's coming out on Xbox One now. It is already out on Windows. Let's move on to a big item that's coming out. And I don't know if it's going to affect the people here in this chat, but it's definitely something to know. Disney is releasing the new Disney Infinity 3.0 for Xbox One, 360, PS4, PS3, Wii U, and PC. This is coming out on August 30th. Everybody knows what Disney Infinity is. We don't really need to go over that, but it is a new game coming out. Next, if you play Elder Scrolls Online on August 31st, there's going to be an Imperial City DLC. That's right, a new DLC for Elder Scrolls Online. I could never get into Elder Scrolls Online, but for those of you that could, there is DLC coming for you that will keep things going for a long time. Next up, PS4, PC, Mac, and Linux, we have a game called Armello. I have never heard of Armello. Let's take a look.
Sounds delicious.
Armello is, of course, on Steam because it is coming out on PC. It is early access, guys, so just so that you're aware, it is coming out early access. Armello is a grim fairy tale board game come to life, full of swashbuckling, adventure, combining deep tactical card play, rich tabletop strategy, and RPG elements. Wage epic single and multiplayer battles, cast spells, hire agents, and prepare poisons and ruses on your quest for the throne. It definitely looks different. And apparently, yeah, it looks like it's got cards, it's got turn-based, it's got all sorts of RPG elements to it. I'm not sure if this game even knows what it wants to be when it grows up.
I've actually had this on my wish list for a while, and it's because it's off of Grim Fairy Tales. And that's something that I read to my boys just about every night. I'm a huge Grimm fan, and it is a turn-based thing, but that's okay. It's the puzzles and strategy that gets me, and that's an actually very good combination for a lot of games.
Nice. So yes, the September 1st release that I was talking about, guys, that's their full release. That's, in theory, according to this, full release is launched September 1st, 2015, which means it's no longer early access, meaning that it should have all of the features that they stated were going to be in it.
And a good thing about it is going to be a cross-platform multiplayer game as well. So that's one of the reasons why I was looking at it with me and a couple of friends of ours.
So next up we have on Xbox One on September 1st, a new game coming out that has actually already been released on computer for some time. It's been released in February 2015 for the PC, and it's called The Deer God. The Deer God is a breathtaking 3D pixel art adventure that will challenge your region and your platforming skills. It's a game about survival, reincarnation, and karma, all set to breathtaking and unique 3D pixelized world. Feast your eyes on the beautiful lighting, day and night system, and vast... I stopped reading there. So you guys can check that out on Steam. It's coming out on Xbox One on September 1st, and it's also coming out on iOS on September 3rd. I highly doubt the iOS is going to look as pretty as it does say on Steam, but it's still coming out there as well. It appears to be a platformer style, but hey, who knows? All right, guys, next up is September 1st. We are still on September 1st releases. We have a game called Grow Home coming out on PS4. According to this, it has been out on computer since February of 2015. This is experience the freedom of unbound climbing as you take control of Bud, a procedurally animated robot in a quest to save the planet. Create your own path through an alien world as you control a ride to a giant planet, a vertical journey to the stars.
Row Home's a brilliant game. The actual visuals of it are amazing. You're basically like a robot thing, and you have to go around collecting things, and to go higher up, you grow it's like a beanstalk kind of thing, and you have to grab things with different hands and stuff like that, and different buttons. It's a really good idea.
So that is coming out on the PS4 on September 1st. Another big one coming out on September 1st, guys, Mad Max. Now, we all know what Mad Max the movie was, but the Mad Max game is coming out on September 1st. It is coming out for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. I'm trying to find information, but everything so far has been about the movie. Mad Max game, 1080p. Can I just find information?
Descend into the post-apocalyptic wasteland of Mad Max, where ammo is scarce and the key to survival is possession of a car. Take control of Mad Max and stay alive among savage gangs of bandits who roam the desolate desert. Use vicious on-ground and vehicular combat to ensure your survival.
So there you go, guys. It is an upcoming vehicular combat and third-person action video game set in an open-world environment based on the Mad Max film, and could be good, could be bad. We all know how those film series games go. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. September 1st, we have Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Xbox One, 360, PS4, PS3, and PC. I don't think I need to go over this game here. I'm looking forward to Metal Gear Solid, and I hope you are too. Just remember, don't play it on YouTube Gaming. So, next up, September 1st, we have Nobunga's Ambition Sphere of Influence. It is coming out on PS4, PS3, and PC. I have never heard of this game before. Let's see if we can find out information on it. There, look at that, it's on Steam. Guys, I absolutely love games that are on Steam, because then you can find out that the renowned historical simulation returns as Nobunga's Ambition Sphere of Influence becomes a warring states overlord and work your way towards unification. This installment has enhanced and added numerous features to its predecessor. So it looks like it is a war game, kind of. So you're setting up troops and you're fighting in a war.
Please note, they do not support English language. So, again, cannot be streamed over on YouTube.
There you go. So, something that you should know, though, of course, on September 1st, it is coming out. They are giving you a $10 discount if you buy it on September 1st. So, it'll only be $49.99 instead of $59.99. I don't know if I'll be buying this game. It is a very Japanese war-style game. Not my taste, but somebody else might like it. Next up on September 1st, we have something called Geodrifter. It is coming out on PS4 and Vita. Anything that comes out on PS4 and Vita, I kind of have to worry about. Looks like Geodrifter actually did come out on Steam. Came out on Steam December of 2014, so it's been out for over 6 months. It's $10.99. Geodrifter is featuring Renegade Kid's in-depth development diary, critically acclaimed soundtrack. It doesn't tell me anything about the game. Geodrifter is the story of an interstellar drifter traveling the stars on a simple mission of exploration. Seems kind of neat. It's 2D. Actually, you know what this reminds me of? This actually reminds me of Super Metroid. It looks like an indie version of Super Metroid.
It actually looks really, really cool. One of my favorite styles, other than horror, of course, is the indie arcade platforming styles of games. So this kind of fits right into that, and there's a lot of people that love that style of game. So, yeah, if you have a game console Goodness gracious, I can't speak today. Instead of a PC that you stream on, yeah, actually get this game. I've seen a few people play this, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
All right, next up, guys, one of my favorite games is coming out on the PS4. Unfortunately, I don't own a PS4. What this means is that I won't be able to play it. And it looks like, looking over all the information again, it is solely for the PS4 at this point. It is called Zombie Vikings. It's hack your way through an insane story brawler with up to 4 friends. Loki just snatched up Odin's last magic eye right out of his eye socket and hastily gaggled off with it. Oh man, this actually looks really, really good, guys.
And just so you know, this is the other game that me and Riba really want to get a gaming console for.
So Zombie Vikings is up to 4-player. I don't know if it's online. I didn't really review it because it's only for PS4. It looks like it is eventually coming out on Steam. Their website does say Steam, but I can't find a Steam listing for it yet. I don't know, maybe I should bring up Steam. Maybe it's in Steam. Anyone got Steam up that they can search for Zombie Vikings? Yes, no, maybe?
I know you're a monster.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on there.
All right. Well, they say it's coming out on Steam, so we just don't know when yet. Hopefully they inform us soon, because this is definitely a game that I would love to play, and I'm hoping you guys would love to play it too. Like, it seems like a ton of fun, and this type of game is definitely something to check out.
They might be dropping it on Steam the same day that they release it. There's a lot of games that have been doing that lately, so nobody can try and get in there early to get it.
It's definitely quite a thing that could happen. Guys, September 2nd, we have another game coming out. It is called Active Aggression. It is coming out for PC only. Active Aggression is set in the near future. Active Aggression is an explosion, techno-thriller, real-time strategy game hailing from the golden era of RTS. Finally, another RTS. Real-time strategies do not come out very often, and when they do, they are usually the exact same ones you would expect them to be. You know, Command and Conquer, things like that. This one, I would probably give it a kind of a Command and Conquer-esque style, but it's definitely got its differences. It looks really neat, and the graphics are just absolutely amazing, guys. It's coming out again September 2nd. Looks like it can be pre-purchased right now for $42.49. It does look good. Something to check out. Again, that's Active Aggression on PC. The other game coming out on September 2nd is called Renowned Explorers International Society. So, Renowned Explorers International Society, again, is coming out on PC on Steam on September 2nd. It's a strategy adventure game set in the 19th century. Its key features are allow you to explore far corners of the world, create your own adventures, prepare your treasure hunts, collect insight, research, gold status. You know, this is a basic thing you would expect from this. Attitude-style gameplay, so you can choose your best course of action by engaging your opponents physically and mentally. There's always something new to discover and thrilling procedurally generated expeditions. So it looks like a role-playing style game. Maybe turn-based. It's hard to tell from the videos. But it's a strategy adventure game. It's definitely indie, you can tell. It looks absolutely amazing for an indie game, though, guys. You should go check it out. We've got one more game today, guys. One more. And that is Company of Heroes 2 is coming out for PC on September 3rd. Again, that's Company of Heroes 2, also known as the British Forces, coming out on Steam. Oh, this one I actually have to input my birth date for. Give me 1 second. Enough. So Company of Heroes 2 is a new standalone multiplayer release in World War II RTS franchise. Perfect entry point for the private Company of Heroes 2 community. Again, another RTS. World War II style on this one. I do like the looks of it. If you're big into like the look of the World War II and you like RTSs, this is honestly a great way to go, guys. Unfortunately, this is the last game. All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes left. Do you guys want to comment on any of the games that are coming out this week?
The Company of Heroes 2 is actually very fun. I have it in my Steam library already, and I play it offline. This is one of my games I keep just for me, and it is a lot of fun, at least on the PC. The keyboard warrior that I am makes it a little difficult at times because you need to do quite a few different things depending on the situation that you're in, but it's totally worth it. If you really do like this style of game, this game is worth getting.
Alright guys, so now we're going to do what I like to refer to as a broadcaster review. Now I don't believe the broadcaster is here right now, but it is a very, very important piece, guys. Every week we're going to try to do one of these. If you would like to go ahead and sign up to have your channel reviewed, you can go ahead and sign up right here. So, exclamation point help desk, get you the link. And there you go. There's some information, guys. So we're going to be doing a member of the TII stream today. His name is Blazinkin. Now, unfortunately, due to the fact that this was supposed to happen last week, but we ran out of time, I'm going to have to go over it really quick today. Sprocket, do I have anyone after me today?
Not that I saw.
I'm
checking for you.
No, looks like I got some space, so if I run late, I run late.
Oh, you've got time in there.
All right, guys, so we're going to talk about Blazinkin's review. So, where do we start? Well, I originally watched his TII stream of Minecraft, and then I decided I needed something different. So I went over to his channel, and he had played CSGO. So I decided I'm not going to review the Minecraft one. I'm not going to review the CSGO one. We're going to combine them both. We're going to give you guys a review on all of the information I found, and you guys can know what he needs to improve, what he did right. And you guys can check him out over at Blazinkin. If you could give him a shout-out, Sprocket, in chat, that'd be great. I don't know the numbers that go after his name. But yeah, so Blazinkin, I'm going to give you guys a link, hopefully, to his channel, and you guys can come check him out. Actually, I have it right here. Copy. Oh, you beat me. You got it wrong, though.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's right. Yeah, I think I got one number in there wrong.
Aren't you supposed to do like a shout out? Shout out.
Yeah, I am, but yeah, I'm heavily medicated, I think.
So this is the channel we want to review, guys.
I've been a little under the weather, so
that's
yeah,
all right.
That's my.
So let's go ahead and go over what we see on his channel. Let's start with the channel overlay. All the information you find below the channel, all the information you find in the box when he's playing, things like that. I don't know if you guys can see the VOD that I watched, if it's still available. It was his only VOD available at the time for CSGO, but it is quite old now. So let's go ahead and get started. So the info bars on his page look good. Not too much writing. I think their size could still be reduced a little bit. It seems like they're just off just a little bit. They look really nice, though, and that's a major point for them. The info bars are all the same. So there's pictures on the right-hand side of those info bars. The pictures don't seem to actually have a point, so why not vary them up? Put, different poses or things like that. Maybe even completely different characters. I think that it would spice up the channel, make it pop, and just allow you to see a little more easily which section is which without actually having to read. Seeing different pictures, you get used to that. And so if you're looking for a specific section, but yeah, that's what you want to make sure. What else do we have here? He has a schedule. That's great. VODs don't appear to be at the same time and dates as the schedule. That's bad. If you have a schedule, guys, follow it. If you can't follow it, change it. If you can't change it, let people know. There's nowhere on there stating that, he might not be able to stream at these times. He hasn't posted an explanation on his Twitter, anything like that. So if he's not going to be streaming at those times, he needs to make sure that he either A, removes that schedule, B, changes it to when he's going to be streaming. He hasn't been streaming much as of late. Maybe he's having some family issues and such. Who knows? But it's definitely something to get out there. He needs to make sure he gets that updated because a schedule is a great idea if you follow it. Having a schedule you don't follow doesn't really help you. Title. He does not make good use of space on his title. He could probably add a little bit more. He just said, "Let's play CS:GO." 3 words. He did put CS:GO in the name, but he could have put like after that, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. He could put, something quirky about it. Maybe put something about the Indie Initiative if you wanted to. Like, make use of the fact that you can put more information. Remember, 5 words are going to appear on your stream when people go to click on it. Make it stand out. Let's Play CSGO on the CSGO stream with thousands of people playing CSGO is not really going to stand out. You want viewers? You got to stand out, guys. The sound of the game. Okay, let's move on to in-game info. So while he was playing, guys, the sound of the game overpowered all the mics. So that means his mic, his teammates' mics, everything. The sound of the game was just too loud. He needs to tweak the settings in his game, make sure that he can hear his people that he's playing with, as well as hear himself over top of the game. Sounds should never override your mic. If you're having problems with sounds overriding your mic, then you are definitely too soft, and you need to make corrections to that. Maybe your music or your shooting is just too loud. That's definitely something he needs to look into. Long periods of no talking. And I'm talking no one at all talking. None of his teammates, he wasn't talking. He needs to make sure that that gap is filled. Whether he has a separate mic for his chat, for Twitch, what he decides to do, that's up to him. He needs to make sure that he's talking to his chat. Whether or not there's anyone there, you need to make sure you're talking, because I come in, I watch it, which I did, and you're not live, like you're not talking, it's going to be quite boring. I do want to take the time to let him know that he has potato aim when he's in CSGO. He needs to improve his aiming, but that's just, a side note. It has nothing to do with the stream itself. The other thing is he doesn't have a webcam, which is perfectly fine. But with no webcam, you need to talk more, and you need to have more inflection in your voice. I need to be able to picture exactly what you look like on stream without you actually being there. Having something to talk to, like a picture or something, is better than nothing at all. And this could have actually been brought even higher by, him actually being on screen. Or, giving an inflection so it'll make me think that, somebody's there and things like that. Very monotone and no camera to show, emotion and things like that. Very important. That's what people are looking for. They want you. They don't want the game. They can go watch anybody play potato aim CSGO. So if you're looking at wanting people, you need to make sure that you're giving the good inflections or you have a webcam. One of those two things. Either one. There's no draw for people to come into this channel at all. There was no clickbait name. There was no webcam. There's no inflection in the voice, although voice is not really a draw to click on it. What they're seeing on screen, there's nothing that's pulling them in. And so without that, you're going to find that you're having trouble growing. You need to be able to pull people into your channel from the front. And then once you pull people in from that page, then you need to hold them. And that's done through, interactivity and things like that. But that's not something people see at the front. So you need a captcha to drag people in. Some clickbait even. Just to give you an example, the other night, Quantum Creature, who streams on TII here, let's go ahead and do a shout out to Quantum since I'm talking about him. Let's see if I can type today. Shout out Quantum Creature. See if I got that right. I did. All right. So
one thing I will say, as Black Duck, you've also picked up on me. Please remember when you start a stream to unmute your mic.
Absolutely, that's a big thing. You got to make sure that your mic is working. Check to make sure that it's showing up in OBS. Check to make sure that you can hear yourself in stream. Even if that means unmuting your stream for a second to make sure you hear yourself, it's a thing to do. But as an example, when I was talking about clickbaitiness, so last night I think it was, late at night, Quantum was playing The Walking Dead Telltale game on the TII. Okay, I refreshed my my watching. I wanted to see who was live. I wanted to see what I wanted to watch, and I saw a title that said "Fear the Walking Dead." Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Fear the Walking Dead is a new Walking Dead TV show that just came out on Sunday. So I saw that and I went, "No game for Fear the Walking Dead, is there?" And I clicked it. Now, that is a clickbait title. He got me to click in and watch the show, even if it was for just 30 seconds, although I watch all the time. That was a second stream that I had going watching the channel. And the reason for that is because he had that clickbait title. And if he had, kept me interested and stuff, I would have probably stuck around, watched even more. As it is with TII, he probably couldn't have because I already had him open on another tab. So I was just finding a second stream to watch because I watch multiple streams at once. But definitely had a very, very good clickbaity title. and I was quite amazed with that. Guys, if you find that you're having trouble getting people in, it's because you don't have that draw. You need to find something to draw them in, whether that's a funny hat, whether that's something on the screen, whether that's a clickbaity title. At this point, guys, we need a draw. That is a big thing in order to make things work. So that is another thing that he did not have that we need to look at. The other thing was he wasn't using a $300 knife. When you're playing CSGO, isn't that mandatory? Spooner, do you play CSGO?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
You got a $300 knife?
No.
Well, why not? I thought that was
because I ain't got $300 to spare.
I thought that was the thing. You guys are supposed to like gamble away all your money and get a $300 knife and then use it. Isn't that what CSGO is?
I've already gambled all my money away, so I can't afford to buy a $300 knife.
That's right. That happens. That happens. I'm just joking, of course, guys. But even a $300 knife, if you happen to get one, if you want to put money into your stream, you go buy one off that. That is honestly a CSGO clickbait. People see that $300 knife and they want to come in and check it out.
True.
Now
as soon as you get that $300 knife, you're elite.
Exactly. So getting a good knife is like the way to go. And if you get yourself a good knife, it becomes clickbait, and people will come watch you play CSGO. It's no different than other games having like really good armor in Final Fantasy. People want to come check it out if they've never seen it before. If you can show that off on your system, it's got to be something obvious. So like the knife, honestly, you'll probably catch it in your snapshot. You can get some really cool things like that, and it's a clickbait. It's a way to go. And honestly, I just wanted to bring that up. That is an option for CSGO, but I was, of course, kidding. You don't need to have a $300 knife, but you can use it as a selling point if you have the money. He had an overlay on his game. It wasn't a huge overlay, but he did have an overlay, some back borders and things like that. My problem was the scrolling text. Guys, for those of you that have just started streaming, for those of you that have been streaming for a long time, scrolling text is no longer a thing. It looks horrible. It's hard to read, it's pixelated, and unless you're doing 1080p 60 frames a second, which by the way you can't do very well on Twitch, you need to make sure that you're not using scrolling text. Make your boxes big enough, put them as steady text, don't do them scrolling, and show the information. If you have to do multiple lines, you have to do multiple lines, but don't scroll the text. It's very important that you don't, because we need people to know, you know what, that's going to show up, and we don't want it to scroll because it looks horrible. I haven't found a stream yet where scrolling text didn't look horrible at less than 720 at 720p or less.
Except for mine today, because I had a kitty cat up there saying, "Hey, look at me while I'm gone," and I had the scrolling text, which wasn't working for my music, which I'm very upset about.
I don't think I've had anyone go into my channel and tell me that my scrolling text was looked bad or they couldn't read it or anything.
Oh, it's not that. Most people aren't going to tell you that. But if you sit down and watch your own stream, you'll notice, first of all, it draws your attention away from the stream itself. It can be kind of annoying just in the fact that it can get blurry. Like, honestly, you have to watch your own stream to see it. Some people don't have a problem with it. If you don't have a problem with scrolling text, feel free. But I will let you know that it is starting to turn a lot of people away for those reasons. It's not that it's not readable, because it is. It's just a little blurry. Something for you to check out for yourself. I'm not saying, you know, that everything we say here on the Help Desk is a magic cure in order to get viewers. We're just trying to help out with what we know, what we've learned, all that stuff. And it seems to me that scrolling text is no longer the way to go, but to each his own, right? Each his own.
I mean, sometimes it just depends on where you put it. Also, if you have an extremely busy overlay, the scrolling text is just that much more distracting from your stream. Like I said, I have things that go all the way around the border of my stream most of the time. So if I were to put the scrolling text somewhere, it would be at the very bottom underneath of everything else that I have there. And I mean very bottom, so it's a very small little area where it could be just big enough to be able to read it, but not distracting from what's above it, which is what I'm streaming. So it depends on the speed of the scroll as well. If it's slow enough, it becomes almost stationary, and it's something that I could deal with, and some of the other viewers as well could deal with.
So it doesn't appear that, now I can't 100% guarantee this, but it doesn't appear that Blaziken has a stream or donation alert. He does have the ability to take tips. He does have a follower system, of course. It does show recent follower, recent tips in the scrolling text, like I was saying, but it doesn't appear that he has an alert. It doesn't appear there's no sound, no pop-up, anything like that. I personally am fine with that. That's a choice you need to make, whether or not you want to keep things simplistic or if you want to go over the top. Here at BDZ Helpdesk, we're keeping things very simplistic. We don't have follower, we don't have donation. Sprocket, I believe, can hear them in the background, see them in the background. I can see them in the chat when they happen, when it actually shows them. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to acknowledge them. And the reason for that is because this is a talk show and we can't have constant interruptions. So we just turn that off just to keep that from happening. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, that we value it any less. We still like the followers and everything like that. And, you know, guys, if you guys do follow, thank you very much. I want to take the time to point that out here right now. But it appears Blaziken's the same way on his channel. I didn't see one. That doesn't mean he doesn't have one. Next up, guys, we have a break time. So after 35 minutes of playing CSGO, he took a break. Okay, fine. He had to go to the bathroom. Whatever, he decided he needed to take a break. I'm perfectly fine with this, but if you guys are going to take breaks after 35 minutes, one, make sure it's short. He took a 10-minute break. 10-minute break is way too long at 35 minutes. If you want to take a 10-minute break, wait for the hour mark, then take a 10-minute break, and then you can keep streaming. He did only stream for an hour. So he streamed for 35 minutes, took a 10-minute break, 45, streamed for another 15 minutes, and then logged off. Now, I was there the entire time, watching in hidden view, so he didn't know I was there. He didn't state why he was going, anything like that, but after an hour, he took off, and it just seemed like a really short stream. Guys, if you're going to sit down and stream, short streams aren't the way to go. Longer streams are better. You will find that you gain more followers with longer streams. And that means that you're going to gain more viewers with longer streams. I recommend anywhere from 4 to 5 hours as a minimum to stick with the same game. Not necessarily. You can switch games, although it's best to stick with one game. But you can do what you need to. I understand that, you know, if you're doing this as a hobby, it's not the same as doing it as wanting to do it as a job. If you're just doing it as a hobby, you don't have to listen to anything I'm saying. You do what you enjoy doing, and that's what you do, right? The other thing I would like to state is there were long bouts of silence in the game. So he would sit there and he would be absolutely silent, and it almost seemed like he was bored. But every time he was talking, either to the people on the stream or to his chat, when he did talk, he seemed like he was absolutely excited. He was having the time of his life. So I don't understand why the stream only ended after an hour. It makes me very sad. With no webcam, he didn't have quite, like I said, he didn't have enough inflection in his voice, except for when he was really, really excited. So this made it difficult to tell if he was truly bored. Maybe that's why he took off. But who knows? Again, let's move over to Minecraft. We have the exact same problems. Long bouts of silence, no webcam issues. When he was playing Minecraft, he didn't have a draw, again, because no webcam, no inflection, nothing special on the screen. And he didn't break very many blocks, let me tell you. For Minecraft, you got to break a lot of blocks. You're not breaking blocks, you're not playing Minecraft. And I'm just joking, of course. With Minecraft, you do what you want to do. It's an open world sandbox. He was having a ton of fun. It seemed like, to me anyway, playing as Minecraft. But you need to make sure that you are talking, that you're having fun, and that you're streaming for long periods. Again, the Minecraft stream, fairly short. It was a little longer. It was 3 hours. But there were long bouts of silence, and he was going to lose a lot of viewers in that time with long bouts of silence. He needs to make sure that he keeps talking, he doesn't stop, things like that, and that he keeps drawing the viewers in. If you don't draw the viewers in, you're never going to find your viewers. So that's it for his thing. We've gone over about 15 minutes today, guys. Let's start with some remarks. Sprocket, do you have anything that you'd like to comment on what we just went over, the overview there? Maybe improvements from what you've heard that you can make, other issues you've seen, things like that. Anything you'd like to state there?
And the no camera stream, I am the queen of. I very rarely ever have a cam in. When I do, it's face cam, and a lot of times I don't do that. I get a lot of comments from people when I stream of how my voice sounds, whether it's a radio voice, whether it's soothing, whether it's calming. No matter how upset I get, something that doesn't come natural. That was something that I completely needed to work on because I didn't have a camera. My way around not having a camera sometimes is I have my little Archer gnome up. That gives them something to see, something to visualize, because that's part of my personality. So the long times of silence that you have with a no-cam stream is a huge no-no. That never can happen. If you don't have the people in there, I can't stress this enough, fall into the routine of explaining what you're doing. Act like you are taping this for YouTube to set off to somebody, or you are sending this as somebody that you're going to send this to somebody as a tutorial on how to play the game. Just something. You have to keep talking no matter what it is. The shorter streams, you can do shorter streams. I am living proof of that. I usually don't go over 2 hours. It's very rare that I go over 3. But you have to be entertaining enough to do that. Again, we're going to fall back to the no cam thing, especially without the camera. You have to be able to entertain the people that are there. You have to be able to bring in the people and keep them there, no matter who it is. Even if it's 2 people or 1 person, you have to keep them there. Or whether it's 200 people, a short stream has to be entertaining to get them back again. When you're doing a short stream, stick with one game. Try to play the game for an hour and a half, 2 hours if you can. If it's not fun to you, doesn't mean it's not fun to the people that are watching you. That's really the only things that I can say about his, the streaming that I get to see with him, is you have to keep that voice going without a camera.
Tuner, any comments, anything like that?
One thing I'd say is if you're going to do a long stream, like my most recent one was about 6 hours long, take a break. Not just during your stream, but like doing a stream every day for 4, 5, 6 hours straight. It is mentally and physically draining. So make sure you take a day off streaming if you can, because you're going to, next time you stream, if you're not properly recuperate from that one, you're not going to be as fun, people aren't going to enjoy as much, people aren't going to stick around. So make sure you constantly either take breaks during the stream or take a break from streaming the next day if you do a really long one, and just look as if you're enjoying the game, not just like doing the game, because if people don't think you're enjoying it, they're going to stick around. They don't want to be in a stream where someone looks depressed or down or anything like that. They want to feel as if they're happy, and if you're happy, obviously the viewers are going to be happy, and which means they're going to stick around more. Yeah.
Perfect, guys. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to state. Just some closing remarks on this. Things that he needs to know. He played CSGO in the Bioshock 2 category. That's a no-no. You want to make sure you're in the right category, guys. When you're streaming a game, make sure you're in the right category, because if you're not going to get the viewers you want. If you're playing in the wrong category, you're just not going to get the viewers. So make sure that you have the correct info for your game. He also played Minecraft in the Destiny category. He played Minecraft on TII. I'm assuming that he probably either A, forgot to type it to the bot, or B, the bot didn't change it. This does happen sometimes, but if it does happen, you should be getting in touch with somebody, letting them know. I've seen times where guys just haven't reported the fact that the bot is broken. It's like, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to send a message to Fail afterwards, telling him, hey, why isn't Moobot talking back to me when I do the channel command, with the playing command anymore? And we're going to find out what's going on there, because it's broken and it needs to be fixed. But yeah, so things like that, that he needs to watch out for. Scrolling text, again, I would say, personally, my quirk is I don't like it. A lot of people don't seem to, and it's more and more becoming the norm to not have scrolling text. I would say replace it, but again, it's up to you. Talking more inflection. Make sure you're keeping that up. Here's what I saw. When I was listening to him, I saw a little kid, not even an adult, a little kid, sitting behind a desk, doing nothing. He was standing there like this, playing his game. And when you're doing that, it's not fun. You need to make sure that, honestly, even if the camera's not on you, talk with your hands. Because when you talk with your hands, it changes your voice. It changes your inflections. And it makes it so that you can sound much different. Be excited, enjoyment, have fun, because that is going to be what triggers you and me to do things like that. Guys, this is going to be the end of the show. That's going to be it for today. We're going to go ahead and do the closing stuff here, guys. So why don't we go ahead and just talk that up. Let's start with Sprocket. Sprocket, go ahead and do your closing remarks, do your shout outs, things like that.
You know I'm not going to do a shout out. Guys, I am a charity streamer only. I do not stream for monetary benefit of myself or my family. We do have a charity coming up on the Indie channel, the Indie Initiative, Rise Up Gaming, and RGN Network. Please, it starts this month, the end of this month, August 30th. It runs to September 6th. Come in, have some fun, joke around with the streamers, keep us on our toes, come in and talk to us. So we're happy to be in here, more happy than we're going to be in here streaming for charity. All right? So you guys come in here and you can do that. And thank you for the shout out.
And Spooner, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself here. Give us your closing remarks, any shout outs you'd like to do.
Well, you know, thank you for, for everyone who came in and actually, talked and asked for advice, because obviously being part of the help desk, that's all we want to do, help, advise, and, help smaller channels get bigger. And, if people want to come around to my channel, you can do. I don't really play a specific style of game, really. It varies, very much varies. I think horror games are going to be coming in a section. Sprocket, I bloody love that. But yeah, I was going to do a shout out for Indie, but Black Dog seemed to beat me for that one.
Alright guys, so I'm Black Dog. I've been running the help desk for, I think this is the 6th episode now. We're going to keep going with this. We're going to keep going, have a ton of fun with it. I hope more people join us here. Every day we seem to get more and more viewers, which is absolutely terrific. We get more and more people coming into the TeamSpeak, helping us out, and I love seeing that as well. The other thing that I do want to take the time and let you know, guys, is that I am starting up the help desk over on my channel. Probably 3 days a week. Is it going to be the same as this one? No. Is it going to cover the same topics? No. Our topics change every week. Our topics change every episode, and so we're going to have a ton of different help desk shows, having a ton of fun with that. All sorts of different things that you can do, all gaming related. We'll probably have a little bit of non-gaming related content. I want to do one show a week that's non-gaming related, which is allowed as long as 80% of your content is gaming related according to the terms of service. So we will definitely be doing something like that. So guys, check it out over at my channel. Give me a follow if you haven't already. We'll check that out. Guys, I've been Black Dog. This has been the Help Desk. You guys have been wonderful. It's time for us to head out. Have a good
What's up, people? Indie's here, and I want to talk to you about something amazing called the Indie Initiative. The Indie Initiative is a variety channel on Twitch that is live almost 24/7. Just go to twitch.tv/The Indie Initiative and check it out. We made this channel as a way to help streamers come together, form communities, gain followers, and build up their own channel. We have all kinds of stream on that channel. We have indie gamers, we've got AAA gamers, we've got people that make art, and they all bring something different for you to get that perfect Twitch experience. With new streamers joining every month, you will always discover somebody that you didn't know about. We have some great things coming up in the near future that you don't want to miss. I really want you to come to the channel at twitch.tv/The Indie Initiative and check it out. You might even want to apply and join these amazing streamers yourself. So come on and check it out. This is Indie, and I will talk to you later. Peace.